Girls test men in many ways, and the truth is that most men do not even realize they are being tested. These tests are not always games, tricks, or manipulation. Many times, these tests come from fear, past pain, insecurity, and the desire to know whether the man standing in front of them is real or pretending. Today I want to share a reality that is important for every man to understand, whether he is young or old, powerful or ordinary, educated or uneducated. This is a truth that every police officer, every responsible person, and every family member should know, because misunderstandings between men and women often become the reason for fights, breakups, stress, and sometimes even crimes. Understanding these tests can save relationships, save respect, and save lives. So I want to speak the truth today, in simple words, so that everyone can understand what these tests truly mean. Girls test men because they want to know who the man really is when things are not perfect. A man can act nice when everything is normal, but real character appears in uncomfortable moments. Many girls test men by becoming a little distant. They want to see how the man reacts. Does he get angry, insecure, or emotional too fast? Or does he stay calm, confident, and respectful? Because a girl knows that a man who panics over small distance will collapse during real problems. Girls want to see if the man has emotional strength. Emotional strength is not about acting tough. It is about being stable, patient, and respectful even when you feel confused. Another test girls use is silence. Sometimes they stop talking to check whether the man understands them without words. This is not a childish test, it is a way for her to see if the man has emotional intelligence. Many girls have learned from their childhood or from society that expressing emotions directly is risky. Some families silence their daughters. Some relationships punish women for speaking the truth. So silence becomes a test, not because she wants to hide, but because she wants to know if the man can see her feelings without her screaming for attention. A mature man understands silence, but an immature man gets irritated or starts blaming her. Girls also test men by giving small challenges. For example, she may say something indirectly to see whether the man listens carefully or just hears words without attention. She might ask for help in a small matter to see whether he is dependable. Not because she needs help, but because she needs to know if he is the type of man who disappears when responsibility appears. A girl values security, not in the material sense, but in emotional presence. If a man makes excuses in small responsibilities, he will run away from big ones. Some girls test men with attitude. Not rude attitude, but protective attitude. She wants to know whether the man has patience. Patience is one of the biggest ways a man proves his maturity. A girl wants to see whether the man reacts with care or with aggression. She checks whether he can leave his ego aside for the sake of understanding. Many men fail this test because they take everything personally. They think the girl is attacking their pride, but in reality, she is asking one simple question: are you mature enough to handle my emotions without losing control? Girls also test men by observing how they treat other people. She looks at how the man talks to a waiter, how he treats an old person, how he behaves with animals, and how he respects people who cannot benefit him. These small observations show the truth of a man more clearly than his sweet words. A girl wants to know whether the man has humanity, empathy, and real character. Because a man who disrespects weak people will one day disrespect her too. Girls notice everything. They may not always speak, but they always observe. Another test is about consistency. Girls want to see whether the man is the same every day or only during good days. Consistency shows responsibility, maturity, and truthfulness. Many men show extreme love in the beginning, but disappear slowly. Girls test consistency to know whether the man's loyalty and attention is temporary or real. This test is very powerful because it reveals the difference between intentions and commitment. A girl also tests men by sharing small pieces of personal information. She wants to see how the man reacts. Does he judge her? Does he laugh at her past pain? Does he gossip about it? Or does he protect it like a secret? Because a girl can only trust a man who protects her feelings. If a man cannot protect her small secrets, he will never protect her big ones. This test teaches men that trust is not built by big promises, but by how they handle fragile emotions. Girls also test men by becoming emotional suddenly. Not because they want drama, but because they want to see if the man respects emotions. Many girls have learned from life that men often invalidate their feelings by saying you are too emotional, you are overthinking, or you are being dramatic. So emotional tests help her understand whether the man has compassion or not. A man who listens, who comforts, and who does not judge becomes worthy of her trust. One of the deepest tests is loyalty. Girls test loyalty not by jealousy or controlling behavior, but by observing how the man behaves around other women. She looks at whether he respects boundaries, whether he can admire without crossing limits, whether he can stay loyal without being watched. She wants to know whether loyalty is a choice for him or just a condition. Real loyalty is invisible. A loyal man stays loyal even when no one is looking. A girl checks whether his eyes, words, and actions stay respectful. A man who flirts with every woman will never be trusted. Another test girls use is about reaction to stress. She wants to see how the man behaves under pressure. Does he break down? Does he become rude? Does he blame others? Or does he stay calm and responsible? A man who cannot handle his own stress cannot handle a family. Girls have seen their mothers suffer under angry men. They do not want to repeat that pain. So they test how the man manages stress, anger, and frustration. This is reality. This is survival. Girls also test men by giving space. She wants to see whether the man uses freedom responsibly. Does he use space to grow or to betray? Does he use time alone to improve himself or to forget her? Space reveals everything. A girl gives space not to push the man away, but to see how he behaves when he is not controlled. If a man uses space to cheat, lie, or disrespect, he fails the test. If he uses space to grow stronger, she trusts him even more. Many girls test men with time. This is the hardest test. She wants to see whether the man's patience lasts, whether he fights for the relationship, whether he stays even when things get slow. Time is the real truth of love. Anyone can pretend for a week. Only a real man stays consistent for months and years. The most important test is emotional safety. A girl observes whether she can express her fears without being mocked, whether she can cry without being told she is weak, whether she can share her dreams without being discouraged. She wants to see whether the man protects her heart as much as he protects his own pride. Emotional safety is the foundation of relationships, and girls test it because they know that one wrong man can break their entire life. These tests are not meant to hurt men. They are meant to reveal truth. Girls test men because they want to know whether they can build a life with them. These tests come from their experiences, their upbringing, their fears, and their desire for a healthy future. Every responsible man should understand these tests with maturity. Every police officer should know that misunderstandings between men and women often begin with emotional miscommunication. Many conflicts, cases, and problems could be avoided if men truly understood women's emotional psychology. If men learned patience, listening, and empathy, many homes would be peaceful. Many relationships would survive. Many hearts would heal. A girl's tests are not traps. They are reflections of her desire for respect, loyalty, and emotional security. A man who understands these tests becomes a better husband, a better partner, a better father, and a better human. These tests are not against men. They are for truth. They are for emotional honesty. They are for